You're not gonna make it. No, you ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna make it, but you can. Welcome to You're Not Gonna Make It, the show where I discuss threats that may prevent you from making it. I'm Kevin. You remember that movie, Super Size Me, where that guy ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days and he fucked up his health a lot? This episode is my Super Size Me with Burger King. Except I'm not gonna fucking eat Burger King. I already did that. But it's more like my personal vendetta against Burger King, because fuck them. By the way, did you know in that documentary, the guy Morgan Spurlock, he was actually drinking a bunch during that. So a lot of the liver-related health issues he was going through was from drinking. That's crazy. I mean, even if you take that away, eating McDonald's for 30 days is going to fuck you the fuck up. So it doesn't validate it, but yeah, some of that liver shit was exacerbated quite a lot by drinking. So what's Burger King? If you're not American or something, if you're not American, you still probably know. It is probably the second most popular fast food chain behind McDonald's. I think they call it Hungry Jack's in Australia, which is cooler. Some of you, when you hear Burger King, you might think of that creepy mascot they have or that racist guy on the JetBlue airplane. But when I hear Burger King, I think, fuck me, that's probably why I was so damn fat. Let me explain. My parents are divorced when I was 7 years old. Now, as it usually goes with parents who divorce, they share custody of the kids. So me and my sister would be brought back and forth to my father, my mother, and the rendezvous point they chose was somewhere in between where they lived, and it happened to be a food spot called Burger King. I remember the schedule was Tuesdays, Thursdays, every other weekend. I was with my dad. So, Tuesdays and Thursdays, every other weekend, at least, I'd be at Burger King. And since I'm there, I'm a fat fucking kid. Well, I wasn't that fat at the time, but I was fat. I was like, hey, I want Burger King. I'm hungry. Or my parents would be like, yeah, let's eat. There's food right here. So for several years, we ate Burger King a lot. My sister and I gained a lot of weight. I remember in the first grade, when I'm already 7 years old. So I guess I was already pretty fat before I started Burger King. But in first grade, at 7 years old, I weighed 127 pounds. And I remember that being a big deal because in the gym class, when they were weighing us, the girl next to me was like, whoa! And I was like, oh, is that really bad? Oh, no. So from that onward, I was just eating more and more Burger King. So you can imagine that doubling that weight was very easy. And then over the next decade, age 16, I was 244 pounds. Now, eventually I did lose 100 pounds, got to 144, and then I gained weight on purpose to gain strength. But yeah, Burger King was a big, big part of that. I've been to Burger King so often as a kid that I have a separate memory bank just for Burger King. I remember getting like Backstreet Boys toys at NSYNC. I remember, who's the guy with the goatee? Was it another Kevin? He had like this blue cloak. It was pretty cool. I remember the play areas in Burger King that some of them had. I remember ripping my pants in one of them and it being really awkward. I had to pull my oversized shirt under me like a fucking weird diaper to walk out so everyone didn't see my child anus or whatever. I remember they had this little computer thing where you could learn about planets and astronomy and shit. Did Burger King have the green ketchup for Shrek or was that McDonald's? I forgot. Did they have the Pokemon, the golden Pokemon things and the Pokeballs too, or is that McDonald's too? I don't know. I've been to both a lot, but Burger King is the rendezvous point that fucked me the fuck up. I remember in middle school, I think I was 11 years old, I swore off Burger King. So what it was, like 4, 5 years or whatever it was. I don't remember which age I stopped. Pretty sure it was the summer that I entered 7th grade. The summer preceding 7th grade or maybe 8th grade. So, 4 or 5 years of Burger King and then I just stopped. I'm like, fuck this shit. It's bad. And to this day, I don't think I've eaten Burger King at all. I feel like I've eaten a fry in the last 2 decades or something, maybe, but I don't remember the context. But pretty much I've not eaten Burger King since then. And I mean, for various reasons, I won't. Hell, maybe in a different country I'll try it out, but Yeah, I have a personal vendetta against Burger King. They basically hypercharged my obesity as a youngin'. Because even before the divorce and the rendezvous at Burger King, I was still going to Burger King at random times because, my parents fed us. But yeah, those few years, those several years of going back and forth, getting Burger King every other day pretty much, really fucks you up. They did have good milkshakes though, I will say that. Dipping the fry in the milkshake, ooh man. I mean, fast food is complete dog shit for you, but if you say it tastes bad, you're fucking lying. You're full of shit. Anyway, let's zoom out a bit from me and my childhood. So a lot of the stuff won't come as a surprise because everyone knows fast food is. I did an episode on fast food before, but like I said, Burger King I specifically fucking hate because they basically made me a fat teenager, along with obviously my parents' choices. I'm not going to blame myself at that age because as a kid, you don't know what is good, what is not. At least in America. In Japan, they do. They teach you that. As a kid, I don't know. What am I going to tell my mom? Mommy, I don't want to go to Burger King. They have too many calories and they're ultra processed. Like, what the fuck? That's not going to happen. I just eat whatever my parents put in front of me. Now, when you're in your 20s and you're still overweight, that is your fault. Okay. When you're a kid, it's not your fault. It's the parents' fault. I love my parents, but 100% was their fault I was fat as a kid. That shit sucked. Anyway, despite removing 120 artificial ingredients in 2021, which is insane. I don't even know how you have that many fake ingredients in your food. Burger King's food remains largely ultra processed. No shit. Many items. Okay, I'm reading these informational stats, but almost all this shit is completely common knowledge. Like the excessive calories, sodium, saturated fat. Most of Burger King's signature meals and items, they exceed the daily values of, salt, calories, all this shit. It's all of it. Now, who are the victims of Burger King? Children, 7-year-old children with divorced parents. That's one. Other people are the ones that say, I don't have time to cook. But you have time to wait in the drive-thru? It's kind of weird, bro. There are foods that take very, very, very little time to prepare, right? Some eggs? Fucking toast? I don't know. Fruit takes no time to prepare at all. I know there are a lot of people out there with legitimate deficits of time, but don't kid yourself. You do have some time throughout the week to prepare something. You don't need to go to Burger King. And the issue with a lot of fast food and food in general that's high in sodium is that not only is it usually pretty high in calories, so they, make you overweight in that way, but they're also high in sodium, which, if you don't know, if you have a lot of sodium in your consumption, you're going to be bloated and retain a bunch of water. So you'll look fatter than you are. And of course, this all comes back to health issues like heart conditions and all other types of stuff. We know it's fucking bad. All right. This whole episode is basically me complaining about how Burger King made me fat. Okay. So if I gloss over a few things here and there, fuck off. Some of these stats are interesting as someone who has not eaten at Burger King in 20 years. The Bacon King, which I didn't know was even a burger, contains 1,700 calories. That's as much or a bit more than the average woman should be eating per day. per day. That's crazy. That same burger contains about 50 grams of saturated fat, which is about 4 times the amount that the American Heart Association recommends. But of course, you got to take that with a grain of salt. Not too much salt, though. Because a lot of these associations and stuff, they give passes to meat and dairy because they paid them. So I don't know what this means. Burger King is even worse than the potentially paid off stats of this organization. That's crazy shit. I think for the average adult, it's like 1,800, 1,900, 2,000 milligrams of sodium per day. And going over that is a bit much. So Burger King's double sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, which contains that amount, more than that. That's fucking wild. Croissant. How do you say this? Because I know for French people, it's like croissant. So croissant. I don't know, whatever. A 1/4 pound king with cheese contains about 2,000 milligrams of sodium too. My lord. I always wonder why the double quarter pounder wasn't called a half pounder. Does double quarter pounder make it seem bigger or smaller to people? I don't know. The Burger King's breakfast sandwiches that they have range from, well, they're basically 800 calories, which is, well, more than 1/3 of the calories you should be having per day, usually, if you don't exercise. And not even for anything good. If you ate a third or half of your calories per day of something that was actually good, then that's totally fine. But you're eating it with shit? That ain't good. It's like those people who have 900 calories of ice cream, or what do you call that? The coffees they have at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, like the ice cream stuff they got, or the sugary whatever. That's like 900 calories, or between like 400 calories to 1,000. Excuse me, that huge ass range. It's like having that in the morning. You basically get you wipe out a big part of your budget, and it doesn't even fill you. I imagine, like it's not great. In 2018, studies found PFAS levels, which I'll explain in a second, in Whopper packaging that far surpassed what is considered to be safe. Wow, it's just in the packaging. That's interesting. So PFAS, I had to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it had to do with like some kind of plastic or whatever. But it is polyfluoroalkyl substances. Basically synthetic chemicals that are called forever chemicals because they don't really break down properly in the environment or in your body. So what this means is that the packaging for Whoppers can increase cholesterol levels, change your liver enzymes, decrease vaccine response in children, increase the risk of certain cancers, disrupt your thyroid, and cause fertility issues. So eating a Whopper, even touching it, can give you a miscarriage or fuck up your baby. That's insane. So usually when I do these episodes, I have AI assistants to give me a few stats, some recommendations to deal with certain issues. I usually ignore most of that because it's dumb. For example, the first one they're giving me is, if you must eat at Burger King, no. So let me stop you right there. You never have to eat at Burger King. What they're suggesting is opt for single patty options without bacon or cheese. Listen, you're already eating Burger King. Your day is fucked. Skip the combo. Avoid turning a high. All right, fuck off with this shit. Here's the stuff. Don't eat there. Just don't eat there. I don't know how to explain this to you. If you must eat there, I don't know what world you live in. I don't even know if the salads are decent. If they even do they have salads at Burger King? They have them at McDonald's, but those are fucked as well. I don't know. If you eat at Burger King, get the water. The soda is probably the healthiest thing there, which really says something. Yeah, I mean, the best advice I can give you is, if you must eat there, you have a gun to your head, ask the person with the gun to open the Whopper packaging for you, so you don't, have a miscarriage or something with those PFAS chemicals. Yeah, I don't know. Burger King is fucking lame. It's not even as good as McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's either, but if we're comparing the two, McDonald's kicks the shit out of Burger King. Let's be real here. Just the fries themselves are fucking sick. And I know this because I don't eat McDonald's myself. But my girlfriend, she doesn't eat McDonald's either, but she does get McDonald's fries every couple months. And I'm like, well, 1 or 2 can't hurt. And it's true. Fuck off. Try the fries. They're great. But anything beyond that, I don't touch a McDonald's or anywhere else. That shit is fucking poison. And I know when you eat the fries, it's just like the saltiest, chemically altered fucking potatoes. But, my body can handle it. It's like once every 3 months or some shit, I have a handful of fries. Fuck off. Point being, Burger King is not even as good as McDonald's. You want to poison yourself and you want like second place? Bro, if you're going to eat dog shit, eat at McDonald's. I think I haven't eaten like an actual burger at McDonald's for, I think, has it been 20 years too? I don't know. I don't remember. Oh shit, actually, I think the reason I stopped eating at Burger King was because I was reading this book by Kevin Trudeau. I think it was called The Weight Loss Secrets They Don't Want You to Know About, something like that. And it just went into detail about various things, but about how just horrible the fast food industry is and the nutrition part of that. And as a very young person, fast food. That's not great, but you don't understand quite how depraved that whole that whole industry is. So that was my first knowledge about it. I'm like, wow, fuck fuck fast food. But I think years later, after, when I quit when I was like 11 or 12 or 13, whatever it was, I think I did try like a burger at McDonald's. Oh yeah, I remember it was in like 2017 or something, 2018 maybe. I tried a burger at McDonald's. I'm like, huh, I haven't had this in so long, and it's not. I could do without it. I did not eat. I have not eaten a McDonald's burger or any actual food since then, because I was like, wow, this is basically trash. I mean, it doesn't taste bad, but it's like I can totally live without this. This is whatever. What was that book called? Okay, I got it. It's called The Weight Loss Cure They Don't Want You to Know About. And disclaimer, apparently Kevin Trudeau is like, in some way, shape, or form, he's a scammer for selling something. I forget. Maybe he lied about some things or whatever. I don't know which one. I never looked into it. But all the stuff that was mentioned about the food industry, I've learned to be true later on in my life. And even more recently, found out it's even far worse than that. So, I don't know what he scammed people with, but it wasn't the food stuff. You know what? With the power of editing, I can just look things up when I don't know. So here's what I found out. In the book Weight Loss Cure They Don't Want You to Know About, apparently he promoted through deceptive infomercials claiming that the weight loss plan was easy to follow, but in reality, it described a complex plan requiring near-starvation dieting, daily injections of a prescription drug, and lifelong dietary restrictions. I had no fucking idea. I don't remember mentioning drugs at all in that. That's crazy shit. This guy was peddling fucking these weight loss drugs back then. Holy shit. If I reread this book, I probably would have thrown it out. So I don't remember any of this shit, to be honest with you. I don't even remember the stories he would tell in the book about what he found out from the food industry. I found that stuff to be wild and basically true to this day, but the stuff he recommended, I don't remember that shit at all. So yeah, if you ever read that book, ignore that shit. Anyway, if you have children and you love them, please don't take them to Burger King. There's no guarantee they'll lose the weight later on like I did. You might be damning them to a life of obesity. Leave a comment saying when the last time you ate at Burger King was. Hopefully it was many, many years ago. If it was never, tell me that. I'm really curious about where you live, what kind of life you led. Anyway, subscribe to this if you want to make it, and I'll see you next time.